monumental decisions. It's not just about the wedding day or the ring, it's about committing your heart, mind, and soul to a lifelong partnership. But here's the big question. Are you really ready? Introducing Are You Marriage Ready? By Bernard Ngozi, a transformative ebook designed to guide you in building a successful and fulfilling union. This essential resource delves deep into personal growth, compatibility assessment, and the true meaning of marriage beyond the fairy tale. Learn how to reflect on your values, develop emotional resilience, and evaluate your relationship to ensure compatibility. This book opened my eyes to areas I needed to work on and helped me see my relationship in a new light. Jessica M. Available now for just $5, Are You Marriage Ready? Is accessible on all major platforms. Don't miss this opportunity to prepare yourself for one of life's most beautiful journeys. Follow the link in the description below to download your copy now. Empower your future. Embrace a fulfilling marriage now. Marriage is one of life's most monumental decisions.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for choosing to be part of our conversation today as we dive into making sense of our politics, ensuring that we are fully responsible for the kind of leadership that our country experiences. We've been on this for a while, and remember, we rely on you to ensure that this great information is reaching more people. So please make sure that you share the link widely and get more people to join so that we can have a conversation that is impacting our world positively for the well-being of everyone of us. To join us in the conversation is an aspirant in Nairobi County, Kibra Constituency, Makina Ward. He will be letting us know why he wants to be in the race and, of course, win the race to serve the people of Kibra. How are you, sir?
I'm great, sir, Mr. Bernard.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Please start at the beginning. Give us your names and your business of life.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So to my viewers, to my people of Kibra and Makina Ward, your servant, Mr. Fred Oginga, an aspirant in Makina Ward. Yes, today we are here to share good news on how we are going to transform our ward. As young people, we have come up very powerfully to ensure that we make change for this country. Okay. Yeah, so it is our time as young people to bring change to this country because we are 70% population for this country. So we are here to bring change. Okay. Me as an Honorable Fred Oginga, I'm here to bring change. Thank you so much.
Mr. Oginga, thank you for making time to speak to us. And maybe we will start with that change matter.
Yes.
What's wrong with our country that it requires change?
Yes, Mr. Bernard. One thing that we have to accept is that our country is going to the wrong direction. Mm-hmm. And it is high time that we make change in our country. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the leadership that you have elected before, they have not represented our people as it's supposed to be. Most of the leaders that we have elected have represented their own interest. So that is why as young people, we know the challenges that we are going through. And we are the people who have the solution to our challenges. So that is why we are rising and we are saying the country is not going to the right direction, and that is why young people, we have come up to change the status quo which has been there. So it is our time as young people to bring change to this country.
Are you forging for young versus old in your political quest, or you are indeed in this to ensure that Kenyans get what they deserve?
I'm putting my shoe into this political arena to ensure that Kenyans get what they deserve. Yeah, because for long we have lacked leaders who can represent the interest of the people. So once they're elected, once we elect them, now they become our bosses. Yeah. So that means now it's now them to benefit, but their bosses, who are the electorates now, become the slaves to them. So they manipulate people. So we want to change that kind of narrative by ensuring that we bring equality and ensure that we advocate for the problems that our young people, especially issues of jobs, that has been a very big problem to our young people. So how we can do this, we must get into these houses, we must get into these government offices and speak the language of the electorates. So that is what we lack in most of our leaders. They speak, or they only go to get what benefits them, but not what benefits the common people on the ground there. Yeah. So that is why we as young people, we have discovered that the solution to our problem, we are the people who have a solution to our problem. And that is why we are going for these seats. So as we go for these seats, we go with a clear vision that we understand our problem. And once we get into these offices, the first implementation are the projects that will benefit our people. Yeah. So that is what we are going for.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. But my question would be, is it lack of leadership, or there is something wrong with the older leadership? Because you seem to be passionate about the young leading the way. Is it that the old can't lead, or leadership requires young and not old?
I know, Mr. Bernard. Yeah, you know, the old people, they have been there. So if you stay in a place for a longer period, sometimes it becomes so difficult to make some changes. So the challenges that we are facing with the older people is that they maintain the status quo. Yeah. So this is what I will advocate for young people, because once we go there, we go with a fresh mind, and we know the problem that this country is facing. So as we go there, the old people now need to give room for the young people, to lead, because they have been there so much, and now it is very easy to manipulate them. And that is why you are seeing how our parliament is running. They're not even presenting the bills that that are affecting our people, the bills that are benefiting our electorates. They present the bills that are benefiting the government. So putting people aside. So that is what I'm saying. The older people, they maintain the status quo. So we need fresh mind. We need fresh young people who are going to bring these changes, and then remove the narrative of the status quo, and then bring the new changes and new leadership, usher in new leadership.
Okay, yes, appreciate your input.
Yes.
But the challenge is returned back to you.
Yes.
We have young people in parliament.
Yes.
We have Babu Wino, we have Osoro, we have Hamisi. They are not old people.
Yes, true.
But our parliament is still underperforming when it comes to the expectations of Kenyans. So is it that is the age bracket the issue, or the losing of the focus to do the right thing when you are called upon?
Bernard, I would say that age is also an issue. Yeah, as we see on how our political dynamics are running right now. If you talk about Babu Owino, yeah, you talk about Edwin Sifuna, those are young people. But as you see, the way they are reasoning is completely different from our old MPs who are there in the parliament. These people, they go directly to the people. They know what the young people are facing. And that is why in their conversation, most of their conversation, if you follow them keenly, you'll realize they speak so much on the young people and what affects the young people. Yeah, what affects the young people. That is what our young politicians, leave alone Wakina Osoro and all those people who are in the government. Actually, those ones have to defend the government. Yeah, but you realize that these other young people, so many young people who are in parliament, when they speak what the young people would have spoken while in the county assembly or in the parliament.
No, Mr. Fred.
Yes, sir.
Maybe playing the devil's advocate. Huh?
Okay.
What we are looking for in leadership,
Yes.
is someone that can carry all of us.
Yes.
If you're targeting the young people, because the young people are the majority and they will vote you in because there are many and the older people are diminishing in numbers, and so you will outrun them. Are we not going to end up where we are because the older people will feel excluded, neglected, forgotten when they have paid, I would say, greatest in terms of bringing Kenya where it is?
Mr. Bernard, I'm not saying that we will leave the older people out. But what I'm saying, we would want these older politicians to become our mentors. Yeah? Not them to lead us, but now to become our mentors. The people that we can go and consult. Yeah? But now, you see the older people, as I said, these are people who have made resources. Yeah? And these are people now, what they're looking for is to protect their wealth. So you realize that they have to speak the interest of the government of the day. Yeah, they have to speak of the interest, not the interest of the people. If you go against what the government wants, always someone who is in government, you will never speak the voice of the people. So these older people, I'm not saying that they are bad, but what I'm saying is that they need to give room for young people so that they become political mentors. So that we as young people will go and consult them, but not them being in the position to lead. That is what I'm saying. But the older people, they have done their work, so it is now time for the young people to rise up, and then they become our political mentors. So that is what I'm trying to say, Mr.
I
Bernard.
get your point,
Yes.
and it's clear enough. Huh?
Yes.
But from your statement, you are simply implying that the government is against the people. The government is not speaking the voice of the people. Why is that the case? The government is supposed to be the government of Kenya, and its responsibility should be acting in the interests of the people. So what happens that government becomes anti the people?
The government, what I'm saying is that the government have neglected the people. That is what I can say. Because you see, most of the implementation in our constitution, there's room for public participation. But if you look at most of the things that the government implements, they lack public participation. So they don't meet what the people want. So any project that is initiated by the government that public participation has not been implemented, so it means that it will lack what the people want. So that is what I'm saying. So the government is doing their own things without involving the electorate, which are the citizen. So that is why you realize that even if the government want to do project, no one will support. But any project that involves public participation, it means that the people who are on the ground will air their views. Yeah, and as they air their views, they're the people who understand their residential or their area of jurisdiction or where they reside in. They're the people who understand it better. But you realize the government just impose project on people that lack what benefits the people, and that is where the problem comes in. So I would want the government that involves the people, and they do more on public participation, and most of their project will come to success. But until they do that, right now, any project that is done by the government without public participation, that project is not meant to, it's not meant for the people. It is meant to benefit the government. And that is where we have the problem.
In your opinion, is the government of Kenya a product of democracy?
At some point.
At some point.
At some point. Yeah.
Explain.
Yeah, at some point. Because now the government of Kenya, if they are a product of democracy, they need to listen to the people. Yeah. Like now, some of this project that they wanted to implement, the project might be good, but if it lacks, as I said, if it lacks public participation, like now coming up with the quarantine in Laikipe, is a very good project. Yeah. There is something that, but now the reason why most people are pro that is because they are not involving the people. So the government, it is their responsibility, yeah, to involve Kenyans on which project they would want to initiate, and then also get the views of Kenyans about the project. But to realize that any project that is being implemented, it lacks public participation. That is where we go wrong. That is why most of the government project, people go against them, because there is lack of public participation. So I would urge the government, if they want to build trust with the people, with the Kenyan citizen, they need to do more of public participation, more of research, more of going directly to engage the people on the ground on what they would want to implement, rather than just coming up with a project from nowhere, implementing, the court now declines and the project still continue. We also have to respect the rule of law. Yeah.
Okay, that aspect of rule of law, hold that thought, we are coming back to it. Ladies and gentlemen, as we continue to engage here, please make sure you participate fully. If you have a question to mheshimiwa, weka hapo kwa comment section, tutaweza kukujibu ipasavyo. Naomba tafadhali hakikisha kwamba utazami kipindi ama ufuatilii peke yako. Karibisha wengi ili tukajumuike pamoja, tukajifunze na tuelewe kile ambacho kinaendelea. Now, in my understanding,
Yes.
a democratic government needs to be a government of the people,
For the people.
by the people,
And
for the people.
Yes.
If we have a government that is anti-people or not acting in the interest of the people, are we still having a democratic government? And if we don't have a democratic government, how did we end up here? Because we are a constitutional administration
Yes.
that is supposed to be democratic.
True.
Yes.
So, the government has to work for the people.
Yes.
And they have to work for the interest of the people. Any government that omits that will have a lot of problem. And what we have seen, we elect governments as we have interest, yeah, as people. We elect governments to bring change, and we elect governments to represent the people. Yeah, as the voters are our bosses. But the moment most of politicians, I may say so, once they get into the office, they now become the bosses of the electorate. You get the point?
So what happens? Because, when I'm saying government of the people,
Yes.
by the people,
For
for the people,
Yes.
is synonymous to you being from Kibra.
Yes.
You've been sent on behalf of Kibra people.
Kibra people.
Okay?
Yes.
And your business should be Kibra people.
Yes.
The Kibra people don't need even to follow you up because they send you
Yes.
to represent.
To represent.
So if we voted in a government and the purpose of that government was to act in our interest, what metamorphosis in between here that now the same government that we empowered to go and do what we desire now turns and begins to do what we don't want?
So the problem is what I'm saying, Mr. Bernard, is that when the government is put in place, it needs to act on the interest of the people.
It doesn't need to act. That
Yes.
is the reason it exists in the first
It
place.
exists in the first place.
So if we-
once they omit
Yes.
that obligation to work in the interest of people, that government does not deserve to be in place. Yes, it doesn't deserve to be in place because it is a constitutional right. The people elect you to represent their interest. So the only challenge we have with our country, yeah, is that once leaders are elected, it is now their time to benefit themselves. It is not the time to do what? To represent the interest of the people. And that is why we go wrong in most of the we have issues with the people that we win. Once the government understands that in that office, courtesy of the voters. So it is the voters who is the over the process. So the challenge we will face is that the government has stopped to represent the interest of the people who voted.
Now, my question on the same is, why is that the case? Is it that we have a culture of using democratic processes to get in at all?
Yes.
Then thereafter, no reference to democracy, no reference to the rule of law. Everybody now practices the tradition, which is an elected person in parliament, in the county assembly, in the national assembly, in the senate. He now becomes traditionally and culturally the boss.
True.
And everyone should prostrate.
True.
So it is a
yeah, because the law is very clear. There is a presidential office is a constitutional office, and there are laws that governs that office. Yeah. So if we follow these laws that governs, I don't think there is no any other leader that will go wrong, because our constitution is very clear. Yeah, on what you are supposed to do as the president, what you are supposed to do. We have the clear roles, like the MPs. There is representation, legislation, and also oversight. If you implement all these key constitutional mandates, you'll never have any problem with the people. So the challenge we have is the ignorance of the law. Yeah.
So
the ignorance of the law.
The
That is what we have.
legislators,
Yes.
who are the people to make the law, are ignorant of the law. Are we headed in the right direction?
That is why I'm saying
entrusting them with the responsibility.
Yes, that is why I'm saying we are headed in the wrong direction. Yeah, if there is a country that the rule of law is not put in consideration, people get into the office and they start implementing their own laws that is not in the constitution. That is where we start developing this problem that we have. If people can follow the rule of law, what our constitution says about our offices that we hold, we'll never have any problem with the people. So the only thing that our leaders has omitted, they have become ignorance of the law, and that is why their representation is not felt. So now they become a sycophants to their superiors. Yeah, they don't become the people servants. They become sycophants to their superiors. So by the time they are becoming sycophants to their superiors, it means that they are omitting their responsibility to represent the interest of the people. And what I was saying that mostly once you're in the government, it is very difficult to represent the interest of the people. Yeah, that is why in most, if you look at the political situation in most of our countries and also the world at large, opposition has a better say, but the government always have their way. Yeah, so you realize people would listen to the opposition because they would want they put on check what the government is doing. So if any successful institution must adhere to the rule and the policies of that institution. Yeah, if you want to omit the policies and the rules of every institution, you'll never make it success. So you must have to adhere to that. If you go to that direction, and that is why we as young people, we have known where the rain started to beat us, and we are coming to make the wrongs right. And that is now we as young people, we have known it, and we have voted for so many governments. So it is now our time to come out and make the wrongs right, and that is why we are coming up as young people.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's go back to Kibra. Makina Ward.
Yes.
Why should the people of Makina trust you with leadership?
That's a very good question. Me, first of all, I'm born and bred in Makina. Yeah, because I'm raised within that area, within that ward. Yeah. So I know, yeah, because I went to school there. Yeah. And I know the challenges that our people have been facing. Yeah. So the key thing that I've seen past leaders have done that has not made it right for the people of Makina is that these other leaders that we've elected in Makina in those years, they lack what we call representation. And also they lack what we call integrity. So I'm coming to implement this representation, making sure that the voice of my electorate of Makina people be heard in the county assembly. So we lack leaders who can represent the interest of our people on the ground. So we only have leaders who will be seen once there is a political scuffles and once there is a political warfare. That is when you'll be able to see them on media. So we lack leaders who can represent the interest of people of Makina. So that is why I'm coming to ensure that this representation, the voice of Makina voters, be heard. That is why I'm coming in. Another thing is integrity. It has never been there. Misappropriation of funds, mismanagement of funds. It is a key factor in Makina right now as we speak. That is why most of the project, as you go to Makina, they're stalled. And there is none of the project that is running. Yeah, because there is lack of misappropriation of funds. Yeah. So as if you have a leader who cannot represent you well in the county assembly and represent some of the key projects that is supposed to be done within your ward. Such kind of leaders now, there's nothing that they're doing. They'll just become and then go to matangas and then dish some 5,000, 2,000. That one will not change the life of the people. So I'm coming in to represent the voice of Makina people, to make sure that I do what we call public participation. Public participation and also work with the leaders. Most of our leaders we have been elected in Makina, they don't do what we call public participation. And also they don't involve the leaders, the community leaders. We have the community leaders who knows the problems that the people of Makina are facing. And these leaders, they're crying that even reaching these leaders, the elected leaders, is not easy. Their offices you cannot be able to access. So I want to make my office accessible, and also I want to do a collective kind of work, as in I'll be involving most of the community leaders, because those people, they understand the people within my ward very well. So by the time you meet these people, you'll not be able to execute any project, and you'll not be able to also ensure that you reach to every corner of the ward that you need. So that is why I'm pleading with the Makina people to give me the opportunity to represent them.
Okay. One of the challenges for this country at the moment has something to do with the cost of living.
Yes.
And like you said, it is born out of the legislatures not doing their job in ensuring that they safeguard the people through the policies that they are making.
Yes.
And laws that they are making.
Yes.
How do you want to ensure that you will address the high cost of living for the people of Makina?
Yes, Ben, the people of Makina, they have a very big challenge as we speak right now. Yeah, because how to address this issue of economic challenge with the people of Makina. First thing, as leaders, once we are elected to the office, we need to bring the opportunities close to our people. We need to create an environment whereby people will be able to get the opportunities. And that is why one of my key things, once elected, I would capitalize and ensure that I benchmark on entrepreneurship. Because once elected, I may not be able to employ everyone to the government or to the county government. But if I create an opportunity like entrepreneurship, it will be able to create job opportunities to the young people who are within Makina. Yeah. So I will dwell and capitalize so much on entrepreneurship. Yeah, we have young people like those people who are jobless. They have gone to school. We have young people within Makina. I was talking to some of the borders people. They were telling me that, you know, Mr. Oginga, what we lack right now is a circle. So as a leader, you need to come up with such kind of policies that now you help them, or now they can come up with a circle, yeah, whereby they can do their small savings, and then they can get some small loans, and then they'll be able to get their motorbikes, and then this one will create an opportunity, because if someone owns his own motorbike, this one is it is a job creation. Even if himself is not operating that motorbike, other person will do what? Will operate it. So the first thing, key thing I will capitalize is entrepreneurship, because I know with entrepreneurship I'll be able to create a job opportunity for most of the young people who have skills. We have people who have skills. Yeah, we have our mothers who are doing so amazing community jobs there, and also collaborate with the organizations within Kibra, so that once they have opportunity, I would have my team who can be absorbed in those kind of organization. So I'll reach out to most of the organization and ensure that also they come up with the project that now our young people within Makina, our mothers within Makina will be able to get those kind of opportunity. Yeah, so entrepreneurship is one of my key projects that I will ensure that I implement it fully, so that my people within Makina will be able to get something to do and then earn them income.
Okay. You accused the government for doing things without involving the people. How do you plan to ensure that the solutions you are offering Makina people is what they have asked for, not even what they need according to you?
Well. So that is why when I was doing my groundwork, I was doing door to door, speaking to my people, and there was one message I was trying to create to them. I was trying to instill to their mind, is that I have not come here to sell to you. I'm not come here to tell you how my agendas are good. But no matter how my agendas are good, even the previous those who are in power right now, they come up with the agendas. So I told them that now, before I come up with my agendas, I want to hear your agendas, because your agendas is more important than my own agendas. So that is why I was doing door to door, interacting with people, and they were speaking candidly, direct to me, telling me that right now the problem we have is how we can access the bursaries in that office. That office, you need to know somebody to get into that office for you to get a bursary. So I would want to remove such kind of people in between that are trying to block my electorate to get what is rightfully for them. So what I'll be doing, I'll be engaging the community leaders. That is the key thing. I'll also be engaging people directly before any project is implemented within my ward. Yeah. So I will not be implementing my own project, but I will be implementing a project as per the priority of my electorate. So that is what I'm focusing on, and that is what most leader lacks. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And definitely there is need for reforms.
Yes.
In order for the new approach to work.
Yes.
What areas, in your view of Makina Ward,
Yes.
that drastically need reforms in order to allow the people to experience the change that you are calling for?
Yes. So I think the greatest challenge I face within my ward is that the issue of insecurity. Yeah. So that is something that I would want, when I take over the office, I will coordinate with the relevant authorities, yeah, to ensure that there is proper security for my people to do their businesses without any fear. Yeah. And also, I would ensure that we have a proper channel of communication. Yeah, because communication also has been a very great challenge within my ward. People doesn't know if they have a problem, who do they go to? Yeah, who do they go to actually address whatever that, which office do they visit when they have a specific or a certain problem that they're going through. So down to ensure that we do proper engagement with the people. We tell them the system and operations of the government, and what if someone has problem so and so, and which office do you visit, and also we'll also try to facilitate them to reach these offices. Yeah, because there are those ones that does not require our attention. It just need a person to go by himself to that specific office. So we'll give them the information, we'll empower them and ensure that they understand the structures of the government, how the government works. So there is also lack of that information. Also, it is a very great challenge because people doesn't know where to visit and all that. So those are some of the changes that will and reforms that we want to ensure that we implement to our people.
So is the information hidden, or what is not being done by the current administration to ensure that the people know where to go when they have what issue? Is it that we don't have those offices that are serving the people within the reach of the people, or there is a disconnect in terms of who does what? Everybody does everything.
Yes, so there is I would say, Bernard, that there is a very, in my ward currently, we have a very disconnect in terms of information. So you realize that the critical information just reaches very few people. And these few people, they will definitely distort this information. So you realize the information now, it's now with the people who are close to the elected leader currently as we speak now. So that the people who are privy to such kind of information. So as a leader, you need to engage your people. So what I'm saying is that I will be able to ensure that my people understand their constitutional rights, yeah, and also they need to understand the mandates of the offices that we hold. Yeah, so that is what I will really dwell on, so that my people would only, not only very few people that are close to the top leadership are privy to the information. We'll decentralize the information to the people by doing public participation.
Okay. Now, the people for the large Kibra,
Yes.
and specifically Makina,
Yes.
are all feeding from the same economy.
True.
And maybe the first question would be, is the economic situation in Makina able to carry the people of Makina at the moment? And if not, what needs to be done so that it is able to sustain these people?
So I think what needs to be done is that we have to ensure that we empower our people. So empowering our people, we have our mothers who are doing so amazing projects within the ward areas there. So the only thing we need to do is to ensure that we empower them, because one thing, great things that comes whenever you visit these mothers and whenever you visit these young people, they will tell you that access to funds, it's a bigger challenge to them. So even if they would want to do some projects, you realize that access to fund becomes a very big challenge to them. So for us, me, if I become a leader of Makina, I would ensure that this issue of access to funds become available to my people, so that they can get startup capitals for their businesses. Like our young moms, they're producing even soaps. They're producing so many things. You go to the young people there, they make very nice bracelets there. But now they will tell you that we lack market. So we'll also try to get market to the whatever products that they produce. Because Makina Ward people, they are very skilled. Yeah, the people are very skilled there. But now the only thing that they lack is the broader market to even market their own product. Yeah, and also you realize that they just operate without registrations and all that. So if there are a group, you realize there's a certain group that is operating, but it is not registered. So we will also work with the relevant government authorities to ensure that most of these projects are or groups are registered so that they can get access to funds. So that is what we need to, I will be facilitating as a leader, is to ensure that any good project that is being run within Makina Ward must be registered, because it is through registration that these projects or these groups will be able to access funds through the national government. So access to funds has been a very great challenge to most of the projects that my people within Makina are running. So I would ensure that they get their groups registered so that they can get access to this fund, so that now they can run their businesses without any problem.
Thank you for that response. A follow-up question on the same.
Yes.
Do you need an elective office to facilitate those kind of getting people registered, getting people organized for funding? Does it require an elective office? Is there anything illegal when you do it without being elected?
You know, I say we have started. There is an organization called Afroport. It is in Kibra there. So this organization, we are also trying to work with other government offices to ensure that our young people get access to this social support, and also maybe all that. So that one we are currently working on an organization called Afroport. So this one will address most of the challenges that our Kibra and Makina people are facing, but also sometimes it needs an elective post, because there are issues. Most of the key projects, for you to implement them, you need to be an elected leader, because through that you'll be able to even present this to the national government, okay? Because as per now, as an individual right now, you know, with our current political matrix, is that if you are not elected, even reaching a governor is not that very easy. Yeah, for governor to come in and then brings some projects within your community. So that is why I'm not saying that all the projects 100% needs an elective post for you to implement them, but we can start from there. But now the major one is, now when you are elected, you are privy to get the government resources direct, and then you'll be able to transmit these resources to your people. Yeah, rather than if you are not elected, you are a little bit limited to get these government resources to your people.
Is it a requirement of the law, or it is the norm that has been put there to hamper people from accessing the required service?
I think it is an ignorance of the law that is there. Yeah, it is an ignorance of the law, and also it is a tradition that if you are not close, it is a tradition that and those are some of the narratives that you want to change as young people. It is a tradition that if you are not close to the power, it is very difficult for you to benefit from that power. Yeah, so that is why we as young people would want to change that, and it is in the public domain. If you are not close and privy to the government, you'll not be able to get those resources, and that is opposite what the constitution requires. But it has been there for so many years. It's a tradition.
No, how long it has been how long it has been doesn't make it right or wrong. My matter here is, if anybody should be able to walk to the governor's office, okay, and demand 1, 2, and 3, and he has not broken any law, okay, why should we put there a tag that only the elected leaders are the ones that are closer to power, and them being closer to power gives them the privilege of accessing those resources? If the resources belong to all Kenyans, you as an aspirant for elective seat should be pushing for the same agenda of making sure that the governor, his office, and everybody that is serving the public must be accessed by the public.
Yes, Mr. Ben, that is a very great challenge, yeah? And we have to accept that it is a very great challenge and it is in the public domain. And even someone who is listening outside there knows that for you to benefit, you must be close to the power, yeah? So this is, I will
So
still...
you just said
Yes.
you want to get into leadership as a
Yes.
young person
Yes.
to correct the wrongs.
The wrongs, yes.
But you are now advocating for the same wrong.
That is what I'm saying. As young people, we want to ensure that this issue of for you to benefit in a certain government, you have to be close to that government. We are trying to change that narrative. That is what we are coming to change. We want the constitution of Kenya to be implemented to the fully. And we want the public office to be able to accommodate everyone as long as you are a voter. You're supposed to go to any public, you are a citizen, not even a voter. As long as you are a citizen, you're supposed to go to any public office and get attended to. So this is what we have been lacking for so many years. And that is why you're seeing things are not going in the right direction. So I'm saying what I'm coming me as a leader is that as young people now, we'll come up with our caucus now to go and tell our leaders who are elected there that now we need to follow the constitution. We need to make the public offices accessible to our people without having connections. Yeah. So the issue of connections actually has really dragged our people from getting the very fundamental services. Because people will tell you right now that me, I have my credentials, but I don't have connection. So that is what I would want to this one to go clear to any young person that is listening and would want to get into this leadership. Let's change this narrative of people, for them to get the government services, they must have connections. Yeah, we need to change that for our people to benefit, to bring equalization. Yeah, and also to bring government resources and benefit everybody regardless of your tribe, of where you've come from. We need to make our public offices accessible, and by making that, we need to ensure that the laws that made this to be accessible must be implemented to fully. For now, our people now to understand, and then also understand the roles that we as leaders we are supposed to play in the national politics. So our people does not understand that. That is why most people still don't know what to go and what to do. And that is now they will tell you that I need connection for me to get into the public service. We need to change that as young people, and that is what we want to change as young people, and that is why we are coming up and vying for this post so that we can change that narrative from our old politicians.
So you want to transfer this to the old politicians in terms of they are the ones that have made it to be so, and not you young people. I gave you an example of the young people in parliament. Are they directly accessible because they are young? Do they have the open door policy that anybody can walk in because they're young? Or why the advocacy for the young people when the wrong is wrong, regardless of who does it?
Yes, I said that that those young people that are drunk with power. Yes, as we speak right now, that those young people, but they're very few. Most of the young people, they're doing what they're supposed to do. Yeah, and that is why I was saying that if you look at the likes of Kinababu Owino, those people, if you hear there is an incident happens, you will see them around there. Yeah, if you hear anything that touches on the people on the ground, you'll be able to listen to them. You'll see them going there, representing them and all that. So you know, we cannot be 100% perfect. Yeah. But if good number of us get elected, and we even get 80% of young people who would advocate for the interest of the people, and also would ensure that the people understand their constitutional right, this will really change this country. So I'm not saying that all of them, they are good, but also you'll still find some elements, yeah, of people who will still be able to do what? Do the opposite of what the young people is required to do. But we will try to mobilize ourselves if we are elected, so that now we can have our caucus now to remove this status quo that has been there, that for you to benefit in any government, you must have a connection with the superior people to make this government accessible to the voters. And we now, our voters are our bosses. Yeah, the moment we become, now I be called Mweshimiwa, so the Mweshimiwa dawns on me, so you know I'm the superior to my voter. I'm not supposed to be the superior to my voter. The person who is supposed to be superior is my voter. So if my voter is superior than me, then it is my responsibility, it is my constitutional obligation to represent the interest of my boss. I am not a boss of myself. I'm not going to hold this office by myself without the voters. Okay. So this is what we would want to change as young people. Let's go there and change this narrative of connections for our people to get opportunities. We must be close to power. Let's make this the government project or the government services be close to the people, and it is accessible to everyone.
No, my only point of departure is you are making it a condition for election when it is already expressly done in the constitution that any Kenyan should work in the public office and receive service.
Yes.
The constitutional, it's already provided for.
Provided in the constitution.
If we are not enforcing it now, and we are asking Kenyans to vote for us, so that when we get in office, we will implement it. It goes without saying that when we see the benefit of not implementing it, we will leave it the way it is because it is benefiting us. And so if we are really for change,
yes,
we should enforce it now.
Yes.
For example, you are an aspirant in Makina Ward.
Yes.
Okay? By now, you should be telling me you have collected the CVs of all graduates in Makina or parts of Makina. Mm-hmm. And you have mobilized the young people to storm the wherever MCA's office or constituent's office. These people need service, or they need IDs and all that. They are being frustrated at Huduma Center. You have mobilized those young people, taken them to Huduma Center, and demanded that they should be given IDs. If you can't do it now, how will we trust you that when you get in office is when you will do it?
Mr. Ben, what
Yes.
I'm trying to tell you right now,
Yes.
there's so many things that you are working on as currently as we speak right now that is going to benefit our people before we are even elected. Yeah. So there's so many policies that we are coming up with as aspirants that we are aspiring to become leaders within Kibra. Yeah. So we have team of aspirants that we are working to bring some changes before even we are elected, and those are the things that are they're in place. Yeah, and very soon, you will see us very effective in the community, and also trying to advocate for some changes that also before our people elect us, they'll be able to know that what we are advocating for is what they have been yearning for so many years. So there are things that still in place. Yeah, that you are working on right now. But as time goes by, we'll be able to start implementing some of the policies that does not need us to be elected to those offices for us to implement them. So that is something that is in place. We are working on that with other aspirants.
Okay.
Yes.
What is your position on Kenya's growing public debt?
The public debt is alarming. Yes, the public debt is alarming. And the government needs to put in place a mechanism on how we can utilize what we have generated as a country. Yeah, because the greatest challenge that we are facing as a country right now is the elephant in the room, which is corruption. And also the government excesses. There are a lot of excesses that are being done. The government priorities that are not benefiting the common mwananchi on the ground. Yeah. So the public debt is alarming. And the government also needs to fight this elephant called corruption. For us to get enough to run our country, yeah, we may be able to borrow, but if we don't have a proper structure on how this the money that is borrowed be utilized, we'll still not be able to meet any target that we have. So the reason why we are saying it is alarming is that the government has not dealt so much firmly and decisively with the issue of corruption. There is still a lot of wastages. Yeah, there's still a lot of wastages in the public sectors. So if the government can harness some of unnecessary expenditures, this will be able to ensure, the government will be able to ensure that they have in good money to also run on their projects. Another thing the government need to prioritize the money we have borrowed. They need to prioritize on how this money are going to be paid back. Yeah, because if they don't prioritize on how this money are going to be paid back, we continue borrowing without paying whatever we have borrowed. That is also another threat to our country, and we may not be able to achieve whatever we want to achieve as a country. So we need to fight corruption decisively. We need to come up with the rules that make it difficult for people to involve in corruption. If we fight these, the government will be able to get enough resources even to do their projects without even borrowing. Yes, so that is the challenge that we are facing: fighting corruption, ensuring that these public offices have integrity. Yeah, people who are elected there are people with integrity. Yeah, so the offices which are supposed to handle corruption are given the full mandate to operate and given the full support to operate. These offices will be able to harness some good money for the government to do their own project. But until that is done, there is no any other challenge, any progress that we'll be making. And that is why I'm saying our public debt is alarming. If we don't seal those loopholes of corruption and excesses within the government, we'll still not be able to achieve anything.
It is in the public domain.
Yes.
That the law stipulates that government should borrow for development.
True.
And it's alleged that our own government borrows to steal. Whatever that is borrowed never goes to the project for which it's been borrowed.
True.
How do you intend to ensure that that's corrected when you are elected?
When I'm elected?
Because even the corruption is not just the national government.
Yes.
It has been devolved.
It has been devolved.
And,
it is true.
The Auditor General, there is corruption
in the county level. Yes.
And even it is at the national level.
So that is why I'm saying, if elected, we need to come up with the legislation that makes it so difficult for people to steal the public resources. Yeah, and also we need to do serious oversight. Yeah,
is there a lack of legislation in the country in terms of dealing with the corruption?
There is, Mr. Ben, lack of legislation. There is a lot. Yeah, there is a lot. The Constitution stipulates it very candidly on what actions that need to be taken for someone who involved in corrupt practices. But now the only challenge is that we are ignorant of the law. Yeah, so it is our responsibility as the people the young people who are going to be elected, to ensure that most of these legislation, most of these laws, and also most of these laws are implemented fully. Yeah, it's because you realize that our MPs now, what they're implementing is not what is going to help us fight corruption, because themselves they're involved in these corruptions. Yeah, they have made so much money. That's why I was telling you in my first remark is that these people right now, the older people are protecting their wealth, and the young people now, we are coming in now to tell them that what you are protecting, you acquired it illegally.
Are the young people not coming in to make their own wealth too?
We are not coming to make our own wealth, yeah, because we've seen the impact that one has created to us as people now. So that is why we are coming up to ensure that the law is there in place and the relevant institutions are given the requirement they need for them to do what, to handle such kind of matters, because the relevant institutions, they are not well empowered. If you even look at their budgets, yeah, their budgets are very far much low that they cannot even do what they're supposed to do. So we need to empower the relevant institutions, yeah, like now the Anti-Corruption Commission. Those are institutions that need to be empowered. Those are institutions that need to be given resources. Those are institutions that need to be supported well for them to execute their duties, yeah, because they're independent offices. But now you realize that they're micromanaged because they're underfunded. If it is underfunded now, they survive on the mercies of them, the people who are in power. So that is why you see most institutions, they are not working. They survive under the mercies of the people who are in power. And that is what we want to change. We ensure that these institutions, their budget is well allocated and they are well funded so that they can do their responsibility.
Since the inception of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission,
Yes.
have we ever had a successful prosecution of a corruption case, especially for the big fish?
It has never been there.
And they have a security of tenure. They are being paid every month since they started, and the anti-corruption is as old as the new constitution.
True.
Which is now 15 years. If in 15 years you have not secured any prosecution, successful prosecution against corruption, do you still need more time and more money and more resources to do something?
You know, Mr. Ben, some things now need action. Yeah. And action that is needed, any independent office should be free from politics. It should be free from politics. Any independent institution should be free from politics. But now you realize that the bigger challenge that also we are facing as a country is that most of the independent office, the people heading these offices are political rejects. That is what I can say. Yeah, they're political rejects actually, and there are people who have been in this kind of quagmire or kind of a situation for so many years. Yeah, you see, most of these offices, they're held with old people who have been in most of the previous government.
You seem to have something against old people.
You know, that is where the challenge is.
Yeah.
The status quo. That is what I'm against. Because these people, if you have been in this government A, you are in government B, and then in government C, you are also the same person involved in this. There is no change you can bring. You'll still be able to maintain the status quo. And that is why we need change. We need change. And by having change, we need to elect fresh leaders who have never held any public office. These are the people who would come and then now bring the changes that we desire. Because people who have been there, they know how they work. They know how they run their things. They know how they escape other things. Yeah. So this issue of status quo is what I'm against. That is why we need fresh people. We need young people who are very energetic, people who understand the challenges that the people, the common people on the ground that they have been are facing.
Okay. We need to land. We are getting out of our time frame.
Okay.
But we'll be picking up this conversation to ensure that we bring it to conclusion. But before we go, quick answers, please. Our time is bad. Huh?
Okay.
One, should public officers convicted of corruption be permanently barred from holding public office, in your opinion?
I would say yes. That is what will bring down this issue of corruption down. Because when somebody knows that you're going to be permanently banned from holding any public office, they wouldn't dare to go there. So it should be as ruthless as that. They should be permanently, yes, banned from holding any public office.
Okay.
Not recycled.
Okay, thank you. Do you support mandatory public disclosure of wealth for all senior public officials?
Very important. Very important. Because you cannot tell me, Ben, that I earn 150,000. Yeah? There is no any other serious business that I'm doing. Yeah? There is no any bank that I've gone to acquire some loans. And I have multi
You are importing choppers.
importing choppers. You cannot showcase where you get your resources. Yeah? So they should declare, any public officer should declare their wealth. It should be a mandatory to every public officer. Anyone who is vying, anyone who wants to get into public office, they need to declare their wealth, because that is where we go wrong. You cannot earn 150,000 and you have your net worth is 500 million. Yes, and you can't showcase to us the business that you're doing. You can't showcase to us that you acquire the loan from a certain bank. There's no loan from a certain bank. And all these investment, how do you get them? We need to declare.
Thank you. I'll give you the last 30 seconds. You address the people of Makina and Kenya as a whole. Please.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ben, for this opportunity. It was glad to share with my people of Makina. And I want to appeal to my Makina people that I have a vision to transform Makina. I have a vision to ensure that Makina becomes a business hub. Yeah, I have a vision to ensure that most of the challenges that our people of Makina are facing will be able to be addressed accordingly. I will be a servant to you. I will not be a boss to you. That is what I would want to tell my people. And I'll be my office will be open so that you can bring any issue, any matter that you want us to address. I will ensure that I remove people in between, yeah, so that the information can reach me directly. That is what I'm advocating for. And to Kenyans, let's vote not based on tribal lines. Let's boast leaders based on their policies, based on their characters, and based on their credentials. Let's not vote blanketly this time round. Let's open our eyes, and ensure that the leaders that we vote in are the leaders who has integrity.
Thank you very much, Honorable Fred Oginga, for making time to speak to us. We believe you will get more of these opportunities, and let's help the nation understand what's happening.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we must call it a day there. Thank you for being part of the conversation. And please, like the information is gone out there, be a responsible voter, be a responsible citizen. Don't lay back. It is time to stand up and be counted. Let's meet in the next program. God bless you.